Welcome back to the 94 podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. There is chaos at Manchester United continuing to evolve and unroll every single second. Now, according to the Daily Sun, they're saying that four Manchester United players were involved in a fight after the Manchester United beating by Brighton at the Old Trafford 3-1. The four players include Victor Lindelof, Lisandro Martinez, Bruno Fernandez, and of course, Scott McTominay as well. Manchester United fans, talk to me. What is happening at your club? What is really going on? Is Erik ten Hag losing the dressing room? It is unacceptable, purely unacceptable behavior that a story should be leaking inside Manchester United, from inside Manchester United, that there was a bust-up, there was a fight between, players, that there was a confrontation between players, unless you have a documentary like the Amazon All or Nothing, the Amazon All Access documentary. This should not happen. The bust-up could happen, but the leaking of information at a club like Man United, it should never happen. It should really never happen. But of course, talk to me in the comment box below. It is drama at Man United, and I personally think they are trending for the wrong reasons. Man United fans, you are trending for actually the worst reasons in football at the moment. But let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. Do Man United players really need some confrontation? In my opinion, they absolutely do. They really do. It is quite embarrassing that Brighton come to the Old Trafford and pick up points, easy points. There was no fight in that game. There was nothing to indicate that Manchester United were ready to put up a fight. There was nothing from Man United players to show that they were actually ready to give a go. Brighton came to the Old Trafford, picked up 3 points. Oh, they remembered that they needed a goal difference as well. They picked up 3 goals as well and walked away. It is purely unacceptable. Really unacceptable. Now, the story actually from The Sun reached that Bruno Fernandez, the captain, had a confrontation with Scott McTominay. And I think it's the wrong thing to do. This is absolutely misplaced anger from Bruno Fernandez. Fernandez was as horrendous as any other Manchester United player on that pitch. The 2 players you could excuse in that performance were Rasmus Hojlund and Marcus Rashford. Rashford was selfish, obviously. You could bust him for that, but he was good. He was receiving the progressive passes. He was literally trying to run forward, and he was the bright spark for Man United, especially in the first half. But Bruno Fernandes to confront Scott McTominay, for Bruno Fernandes to come out and criticize Scott McTominay is unacceptable. Bruno Fernandes was as horrendous as any other Manchester United player on that pitch, in that evening. Actually, I have him in my FPL. He got 1 point. 1 point in that game on FPL. That's enough to show you how bad Bruno Fernandes was. I don't remember him trying to make a key pass. I don't remember him trying to put in a shift, put in an effort. He's supposed to be the morale booster at Man United. Is he the right captain for the club? I personally don't think so. I love Bruno. He's a creative player. I love creative players. I love number 10s. I love good number 8s, and he can do both. But is he the leader at Man United? Is he supposed to be? He's supposed to be the guy they look up to. Is Bruno Fernandes really a guy that drops his emotions onto the pitch? A guy that literally will get disorganized when the team is in utter disarray? I don't think in the Premier League any other club than Man United have a worse captain. I mean, we can rank. If you want me to do it, we'll do it. We will rank all the captains of Premier League clubs this season. There is no club that has a worse captain, without a character, without the ability, without the resilience to take through the club, in moments of turmoil. I don't think Bruno Fernandes has that character. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have the resilience. He's not as good as Virgil van Dijk, as Trent Alexander-Arnold, as Rice, as Odegaard, as Pascal Gross, as all these players that we have seen captain their sides momentarily and permanently. He doesn't have that character. Even Reece James, at Chelsea is a much better captain than Bruno Fernandez. So for him to criticize Scott McTominay, it's misplaced anger. I think it's a problem for Eric Ten Hag. If a player can go and confront the other, yet that player is a key reason to why the team lost, I think Ten Hag really has a problem. Now, the other confrontation was between Lisandro Martinez and Victor Lindelof. Lisandro Martinez lost it with Victor Lindelof, who was his defensive partner. Now, with Lisandro Martinez, there is entitlement. I think with Bruno Fernandez, he has got that ego and he's got that emotional problem. With Lisandro Martinez, it's just entitlement. I don't think Lisandro Martinez was better than Lindelof on the evening. I don't think Lisandro Martinez was outstanding. I don't think, when a centre-back is outstanding, you could concede 5, but you could see your centre-back, is throwing himself in the line of fire. He's, trying to play those progress passes that we know Lisandro Martinez can actually do into the likes of Rashford, into the likes of, Rasmus Højlund. He wasn't doing any of that. He was absolutely horrific in actually Lisandro Martinez. The first goal comes from the left-hand side where he's supposed to be working with Sergio Reguilon. And the second goal, Pascal Gross literally washes this guy out of the game. It is a misconception. He reads the picture wrongly, and Pascal Gross, intelligent, calm, absolutely, sports on, just washes him away out of the game. So for Lisandro Martinez to go, Lindelof, you had a bad game, and that's why we considered 3, it's absolutely stupid. It's purely stupid. Like, you've got to go back and do a personal analysis, a personal appraisal. If all these Man United players go back and do personal appraisals, homework about themselves, look into the mirror, none of these players deserves to start for Manchester United in the next game, apart from Rasmus Højlund. No other player deserves, even Andre Onana was absolutely good for me in that game. I thought his distribution still stands out among Premier League goalkeepers. None of them deserves to start in the next game for Man United. Because I tell you what, if I'm Eric Ten Hag and I look at Andre Onana and I look at Lisandro Martinez and I look at Bruno Fernandez, these players can give you more. It's the truth. They can actually give you more. But they are not giving you that more. They're giving you less. So you drop those imbeciles. They are absolutely looking, they're making Eric Ten Hag look like a bad manager. This guy is an elite top 10 manager in the world of football. He's an elite top 10 manager. And for them to, just drag themselves onto the pitch as if they're a discoordinated, discombobulated group of players, it's embarrassing. It's purely embarrassing. And I think I really feel sorry for Eric Ten Hag right now. You have a disorganized group of players that literally have no right to be at Manchester United, for me. Number 2, he has a group of players that are emotionally behaving like kids. So let's talk about the leakages, right? Who is leaking this information at Man United? All clubs go through crisis, right? So Chelsea have been in a huge crisis last campaign. They finished 12th. Never at one point in time did we hear that Reece James has punched Thiago Silva. Never at one point in time. It's the same thing with Liverpool. Liverpool had a horrific start to the campaign. Never at one point in time did we hear Virgil van Dijk has slapped Alisson. These bust-ups actually happen in the dressing room every now and then. So I'm not saying it should not happen. There should be leaders in the dressing room. Lisandro Martinez is a leader. Bruno Fernandez is a leader. But who is leaking this nonsense? Who is happy that Manchester United, who is the insider that is happy that inside Manchester United, there is a crisis. There are punches being thrown. United have to get their agenda is in order. They've got to get their house in order. It doesn't look good. It definitely does not look good. And I'm not going to hide it. Man United right now are an embarrassing institution in football. They are an embarrassing institution. You can't be doing this. You really cannot be doing this. You can't be doing this after losing to Arsenal and Brighton back to back. You can't be doing this at a point where you've got to reconcile with reality and look at Bayern ahead. That is the most important game now. If Man United beat Bayern, you forget Brighton, you forget Arsenal. You've beaten Bayern, you've beaten giants of Europe. You definitely go and reassess. But to be throwing punches and then leaking stories to the sun, it's out of order. So has Eric Ten Hag lost his dressing room? I think many people will actually take it to as big as those levels. I really don't think so. I don't think Eric Ten Hag has lost his dressing room. But what I would say, if you're Ten Hag, if you are an elite manager like Ten Hag is, a disciplinarian, you are a guy of principles. You're guided by principles, and that's why you've changed Manchester United to the level they are at today. You've got to stop this fire from spreading faster. Number one, find the rat. There's no question about find the rat at Manchester United and discipline them. If it is, I don't want to say names. I'm not going to mention names because I really respect Manchester United players as professionals. But if it is anyone that is leaking these messages, and he is a player, sack them. Let them train alone and let them leave in January. If it is a member of staff, cancel their contract and absolutely make them pay. It's going to hurt Man United as a brand. At the moment, Manchester United's trajectory has been upward under Eric Ten Hag, and we have been convinced that Man United have the right manager, they have the right ingredients in him to build a successful brand of football and a successful club later. It is falling apart. It is absolutely falling apart. So I don't think there is a crisis for him to be worried about. I think he needs to find the rat, discipline the rat, and move on. Because it is football, the world is interested in. If Man United players throw punches at each other every day, as Man United win on the pitch, no one will believe the story. But no one is going to unbelieve the story, count it as fake news after a humiliating defeat to Brighton at home. So the dressing room has to be in order. I still think Eric Ten Hag has got the minerals to actually solve this. I still think Eric Ten Hag has got the personality. I just like his personality as a manager. Like, I mean, there are times when it really angers me. Like when he goes, we didn't buy players in the summer. Well, okay, yeah, he really angers me in those instances. But I like the way he has brought Manchester United into a cultural institution. He's made Man United an identifiable institution. So you can easily see through them and you can easily understand that this is Man United. You can easily see this is Man United and this is what they do and this is where they are going from where they have been. Okay, so Man United, as you go into the Bayern Munich game, you don't want this story to be coming out. You don't want this kind of nonsense to actually be coming out. You have the Jadon Sancho story. I mean, people have said that Sancho is an influential player in the dressing room. Aubameyang was at Arsenal. Lacazette was part of the leadership group at Arsenal. Xhaka was part of the leadership group at Arsenal. Mesut Ozil was an influential player, in the dressing room at Arsenal. Liked Bellerin as well. These guys are now through the door. So for me, Eric Ten Hag, all he's got to do, continue sticking to the right path. He's been ruthless right from day one. He's been a concrete disciplinarian right from day one. You've got to keep it up. There's no other way. You don't look otherwise. You've got to keep it up. Players that are not happy to be here should leave. And rats leaking information to the media, especially the Rotten Sun, should actually be out of the door as well. My name is Kosi. You can find the Night More podcast on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Of course, make sure you do subscribe to us on YouTube for all your match reactions, match previews, and daily news. We'll see you right in the next one.